Good morning, everybody. So today, exactly what we are going to do is we are going to see how the backend of these type of apps work. I want to be specific. We are not focusing on the front end part of this TradingView app. We are just implementing the logic of how the codes and everything is working. Okay. So this is irrelevant of the language that you're working in. So basically you wrote a piece of code and that piece of code is written in Java as you can see in the front, and the same code is transferred to further more teams that might be working in JavaScript, Python or any other language. So in order to make sure that the code is understood by everybody, we have something known as serialization. Moving forward, you would get to know more about serialization and deserialization and how JSON works, how JSON library works, how we can deserialize or serialize the things in order to make the objects or the functions work according to us. Okay, so as you can see over here, just give me a second. Okay, so we are not able to pause this. So we have our main application over here from where if I will show you guys the main method, just give me a second. I guess this might be better now. So over here is our main method starting from. So for first what we have to do is we have to read the data that is already stored that we have created. Like we are getting a set of data that is the company name, the stock's name, or the quant, or the purchase date, or the release date of the same thing. So all of this that have to be fetched and like provided in our own set of codes in order to make sure that we can map it accordingly. Okay, so what is serialization? So making sure to making a to in order to get the code output and making that output convert into a JSON file. This is known as serialization. That JSON file might be transferred to other teams, then they would like deserialize it according to them, and that could work. Okay, in everything. So over here I'll show you our. So this is the traits.json. This is the Pojo file that we have created. Pojo is basically plain old Java object, and we already have serialized it. I will explain it to you how we have serialized it. So this is the portfolio trade. As you can see that we have everything mapped accordingly. Private string symbol in quantity trade type, that is like defining the data type of the trade type, and the local date, that is the purchase date, that from where we have to buy and sell. Okay, so this is the first module of like getting to know how things are working in our trading view apps in the backend. Okay, so what we did was from the main method we use the object mapper, that is a functionality that is provided us through Jackson JSON that you can say. And what this thing helps us in is, with this we can read the absolute path of the file that we have stored. What do we mean by absolute part? The complete detailed path, the exact things that we, obviously it is a computer programming language. You need to make sure that it understands it, knows exactly where it is storing. So for serializing, what we do is we first make sure that we map everything accordingly. Okay, so after mapping everything accordingly, we use the same command that is written over here. So by this, I have fetched the file location. Threads is nothing. Threads are basically it is also a very big concept, but if I have to explain it in like 2 3 lines, what I can say about threads is they share the same responses, they share the same resources, they share the same data and everything from our current set of code, but the implementation is happening parallelly on the same code, right? Parallel मतलब उसके साथ साथ में but अलग चल रहा है. Like two parallel lines never intersect. That is also a false accusation. There is nothing like two parallel lines. They will coincide at a certain point, okay? But not in the case of threads. Threads are going to be parallel. They are going to work parallelly only. So with this, we fetch the path of our the file, resolve file from resources. And after we have the path, now we don't have to do anything. JSON will do everything for us. JSON is the short form for JSON. That had me confusing when I was at the learning stage. So what we are doing is we fetch the file location from resolve file from resources, and we list portfolio trade. Portfolio trade is, so why we are initializing it as a list. Okay, so for this, if we move to our portfolio trades, in our portfolio trades you can see that we don't have a single instance. We do have to store it as a list, because if, like an array of list, if we need to store something, right, and now the things are getting recalled. So for this we use this list portfolio trade that I have named as pf trades, and we are simply converting it with the help of the object mapper. This trades.json would be converted to two lines of simple code that I can show you guys over here also. Where is my main program running from? Just a second. Yes, over here. Okay, so we have to work for this again. This is just, I guess, printing our JSON objects. We have to write another set of code to see how the Pojo file for this traits.json would look. But coming to the important topic now, or else this video is going to be for like at least 2 hours. Okay. So after like converting it to our Pojo file, we deserialized it. Okay, I told you, like, serializing means to get a set of code, work it accordingly, and make sure that it is converting into our trades.json. Deserializing is the complete opposite of it. And I can also help you guys with this. For deserializing, we read the values from our file and from our portfolio.trade. And on the same case, for when we are serializing, we write. Okay, you see the difference. While we are reading the values, we are making sure that it is deserializing. While we are writing and overlapping it according to us, that is not serializing. So over here, what I am doing is I was given a certain data, and what I did with that data was that I manufactured it. I just had to return the names of the like companies like Google, Amazon, or the stocks that they were getting. Okay, so this is the set of code for that only. So for this, I also wrote some JUnit test cases where I was making sure that the thing that I've worked on is working correctly or not. So as you can see, we over here are the read file. If you want to see the implementation of the read file, we just saw it over here. Okay, uh, and after reading the file, what I am doing is, as you can see it very clearly, after reading the file is I put the file name as traits.json, and I uh, in the list of string I put it as, mark it as list, and make sure that the expected results and the results are actually matching and the whole code is working. So this was just a brief idea. Further moving on to the explanations, we will like code it from the zero and start working on it again. So this was just to give you guys a rough idea how we are deserializing, serializing things, and we are using the JSON library to make sure that our program is understood by everybody. So this was the case, and thanks a lot.